Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do another pregnancy update. Yesterday I turned 27 weeks, so I guess this video would be like 23 weeks through 26 weeks, picking up where I left off with my last pregnancy update. Nothing really too exciting is happening yet since I'm just kind of entering into the third trimester. I definitely can feel the weight of the baby and feel like I feel the strain on my stomach and my pelvic floor and everything. I do a lot of walking and doing things with my kids and cleaning, and I feel like I don't sit down that often, mostly just when I'm driving. So walking and standing a lot, I can definitely start to feel it throughout the day and feel my body getting tired. But it's definitely not to the point where I feel like I can't do things. It just is noticeable that I'm starting to feel like my body is getting tired. I did have a doctor's appointment since my last video, so normal blood pressure, not a lot of swelling. I do notice it every once in a while, and I think I mostly notice it when I'm sitting down for a long time, which is interesting. I kind of thought if I'm standing up and I'm walking a ton that I would see some swelling, but those aren't the days that are the worst. The worst days are when I'm sitting down like at a table or on the couch. I'm not laying down, I'm just sitting down, and I feel like that might like cut off some of the circulation and blood flow to my feet, and that might be why that's happening. But it's definitely nothing severe. It's nothing to be concerned about, I don't think, at this point. Just some days I notice a little bit because I'm paying such close attention. My weight gain at this point has pretty much been in line with my other two pregnancies, so it's really nothing crazy. And like I mentioned before, I would not be upset if I gained a little bit more weight. I'd like to see that because to me that means good things are happening and your body is doing what it needs to be doing. I have noticed a lot of restless leg syndrome. I feel like I've always kind of had that on and off my whole life, so I definitely feel that during pregnancy, and I have been using a magnesium lotion every night, and that seems to help because it seems to come on mostly at night when I'm like watching a show at night with the kids or just kind of starting to calm down. I can start to feel my legs get restless, so right before bed I'll just put some magnesium lotion on, and it seems to help me a little bit. An update on my thyroid. So the last two visits I had with my endocrinologist, we did not increase my medication, which makes me really happy because I am in the ideal range, and it has creeped up a little bit, but it's still in that acceptable range to where we didn't feel like we needed to really increase my medication. I'm just taking, I think it's 137 every morning, and I've been doing that for the last few months. So that is really awesome. It makes me really happy that that's not getting out of control, and everything seems to be pretty stable with that. One big thing that happens around this point in pregnancy is the blood glucose test. So you would go in, typically you would drink something, and then they would take your blood an hour after, and they would look at what your blood sugar is and see how your body reacted to drinking a very sugary liquid. And when I did that with my son and my daughter, I failed the 1 hour both times and had to do the 3 hour both times. But when I did the 3 hour, they said I was completely fine, and that was the end of it, and we did not need to go further with looking into if I had gestational diabetes because they were happy with my 3 hour numbers. This time around, I just decided that I didn't want to do the glucose traditional test where you drink the liquid for a lot of reasons. One, it makes me feel terrible. I don't know if it's super helpful because you could develop issues like the week after you take the test. You take it pretty early in your pregnancy. So for those reasons, and then also I just didn't want to drink a liquid that has a ton of sugar, that's not a good quality sugar, that has artificial color in it. I just didn't feel good about it this pregnancy, and so I decided I didn't want to do it. So I told my doctor, these are my concerns, what are some alternative options? Because I'm down to, maybe have a certain food that is high in sugar and test after that. Or I even said I would be willing to get a tester at home and just prick my finger and test my blood sugar myself consistently. So that is what my doctor said made the most sense, because you could test maybe every couple days in the morning, right when you wake up, and then maybe after breakfast, and you can get an idea of if you're having an issue or not, and you could test that consistently throughout the third trimester, and then you know for sure that you don't have anything going on, and it just makes you feel better. And I think it's way more accurate of the situation, and you don't have to do that nasty glucose test that always makes me feel super sick and anxious. So that's what I decided I'm gonna do this pregnancy, because that makes the most sense to me. And just remember, when you're going through your pregnancy, if something doesn't feel right or you just want to see if there's alternatives, don't be afraid to ask, because a lot of times there are. There's a lot of things that they do routinely in pregnancy that they've just been doing for a long time, like 50 years. And I talked to my doctor about a few things. Like, he gave me some paperwork for a blood test that he wanted me to go do. And he said, honestly, I don't think this is really necessary at this point, but we started doing it like 50 years ago and we just always do it. And so this is the paperwork that I give people at this stage in their pregnancy. Stuff like that. It's like, not everything is as necessary as it may seem, because it's just kind of been a routine and we don't really stop and think, why is this even happening? So I'm definitely going to still do all of the blood work that they want me to do, because I have no issue doing blood work. I am not afraid of it anymore because I've done so much blood work. I do it for my endocrinologist and for my OBGYN. So what's adding, one more vial of blood to the next test I'm going to do? But just as an example, there's just a lot of things that they do. And if you're not comfortable with it, you can always ask about it. I haven't really had a lot of cravings or aversions. I feel like I'm pretty well balanced in craving like sweet things and salty, savory things. I feel like my appetite is pretty much back to normal, whereas at the beginning I was just really struggling with a lot of things not sounding good. But now I feel pretty good, and I feel like I can eat most things that I need to. I'm definitely still trying to fit in as much protein as possible, and important minerals like potassium. I'm always trying to fit more of that in. But I don't feel like I'm really struggling with my eating at this point, which is awesome. But that, I think, is basically everything that's going on right now. I might do another update in another 4 weeks, but if something happens sooner than that, then I'll probably do a sooner update. The main reason that I do these is it's really important to me to have all of this on film, because I compare all my pregnancies, and if I do decide to have a fourth baby, then this is going to be really important information, and I have a terrible memory. But I also know that there's a lot of people that are pregnant that struggle with thyroid issues or preeclampsia concerns, and so I know it's helpful to see these types of videos so you can kind of just hear how other people are doing and what their concerns are. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.